Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a spectacular 2017 launch, 45 millimeters in diameter in grade 5 titanium. This is the Girard Perregaux Neo Bridges automatic titanium. So a modern take on the three golden bridge architecture. This one's not a tourbillon, but it is a spectacular micro rotor automatic. So 45 millimeters in diameter, 12.4 millimeters thick. You can see 51.9 millimeters from lug to lug across the wrist, with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. And the watch is very light, being essentially all sapphire and grade 5 titanium. Now remember, grade 5 is the hard stuff, so more scratch resistant than steel, as well as grade 2, and lighter than steel. It's the best of both worlds. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You get a good sense of it. It's broad and it's flat. Now it is large across the wrist, and you can see that well. At almost 52 millimeters, it has quite a wingspan. So I'm going to recommend this for a wrist no smaller than mine. So you want a 16 centimeters circumference wrist or larger. That said, it's not a thick watch, and it will slide easily underneath a dress cuff. You can also see how dramatically vaulted and domed that box section sapphire is. Taking a quick look at the strap, you can see it's substantial. We have medium rectangular scale alligator leather, semi-gloss, curved spring bars allow the lugs to be drilled relatively close to the case, and then there's no impediment to the motion of the strap. The side is sheer cut, showing the thick layers of leather used. Black with a monotone stitch on the bottom. You can see it's a calfskin, completely new Girard Perregaux factory strap. And then we have a deployant clasp, as you can see. Double deployant action. It features satination, and then a twin trigger system, so you have to press these triggers to open it up. It cannot fly open accidentally. It is very nicely made. You can see it even uses ceramic pin snaps so that over time the metal can't wear down the ceramic. The tolerances, the tightness will remain with time, and the buckle is held to the strap by a screw. Now the case features a handsome array of finishing. So there's polish on the hoods of the lugs. You can see that well. The crown itself is a combination of media blasting and polish, and then you can see that we have media blasting on the lug profiles as well as the case profile. The lugs are sharply broken from the case, which creates a nice visual junction between the light profile of the case and then the darker coloration of the lug band. You can see that lug band where it really gets very dark and you have that sharp cleft between the two different surfaces. Now, the watch includes a spectacular box section sapphire. It really does have quite a bit of loft, and that's before we even get to the top. So it's cambered on the top and then box profiled on the side. This must have been a very expensive sapphire to make. The watch is beautifully finished. As you can see well from this angle, that the bevels are glinting, gleaming, and world class. And then the rest of the movement is primarily of a sandblasted or media blasted surfacing. We have a lovely track outboard for reading your hours and your minutes, and you can see that the hour indices have a little bit of a cantilever. The hands at center have a wonderful open bow-like profile with satinated tops, and everything about this watch is muted in its finish, satinated, media blasted, the exceptions being the black polished screws used for assembly. We also have lovely directional graining, as you can see on the cap of the micro rotor as well as the cap of the barrel. So the watch beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It has a full balance bridge to better brace the balance against shock. The micro rotor automatic energizes a 50-hour power reserve, and then you can turn it all over. You can see all the actions on the dial side. It is a 29 joule movement and a 30-meter water-resistant case. Nickel anthracite coating across the bridges. You can see there's a lovely and lustrous, particularly rich and deeply grained Côte de Genève striping, and you can see that here too we have solarization on the reverse side. That's going to be part of the barrel assembly. This is the underside. That's your ratchet wheel right there. And it is a very impressive watch. One of the quirks is that it winds in a counterclockwise direction. It sets with the motion works visible underneath the hands. So you could see that architecture, and you could see the motion works in action moving the hand. Now, what I also like about this watch is that it has several different focal planes to the movement. This movement, which doubles as the dial, really has great depth. And as you can see, it is a very sporty take on the Bridges architecture, as we have loom automatic winding, grade 5 titanium. This is a watch that could be your dress watch if your wrist is big enough. It's thin enough, that's for sure, but it really has sports intent at its heart. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.